Yes. Yes, 2 times. Y'all know the vibes, right?
Ooh la la, we.
She go, ooh la la. We go,
ooh la la, we. Ooh la la, we.
okay.
Ooh la la, we.
Okay.
Ooh la la, we.
Ooh la la. It's that vibe right here. Know what I mean? Like, looking for ends like I lost a friend. Hop out of the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. POPAVIST, that's me. POPAVIST TV, that's my show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, thank you. Please come on in. Over here, we deal with sports, hip-hop, interviews, Popavisms 101, and motivation. If that sound like something you can rock with, then before you exit and hit stage left, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell. So when I upload the videos, you get alerted. Yeah, you get alerted when I upload the videos. And if it's not your first time, then you know how we do. You know how I start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. And we in the end game because unfortunately, you know, Henry Ruggs III, former ex-wide receiver of the Las Vegas Raiders, the Raiders, you know, unfortunately found himself in the worst situation as possible when you out, you know, on a night having fun and you drinking and, you know, you doing adult things and you decide to make that decision, the bad decision, to get in the car and drive while you're drinking. Even though a lot of times for those of us that have done it, you know, you think you're going to get home. You don't think anything bad is going to happen. You never really contemplate the worst. And, you know what I mean? And then when the worst happens, you sitting there, and I know he definitely sitting there in that county prison, you know, jail, saying, I know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail. And they say, you know, the woman he ultimately killed, her name is Tina Tintor. And you know how stories be 360 degrees, somehow they intertwine and they cross paths. You know, as I was, you know, reading the story and shit, obviously he purchased a home out there in you know, in Vegas, you know, where the new stadium is at for the Raiders. And I think it's a few miles down from where she lived, and her family had a home there for over, you know, 20 years. And he just moved in the neighborhood, and he almost was home, she almost was home, and then both of them don't even make it home. He's in, you know, the county, and she's unfortunately, you know, back with the maker, you know what I mean? So rest in peace to her, you know what I mean? You know, may, you know, the Most High get them through this tough time of grieving and, you know, unexpectedly just losing a loved one. And, you know, that's the worst time. Not to say that when you know, but if somebody's terminally sick, then you expecting it in that sense. At least you can kind of, sort of, a little bit prepare. But when it's just out the blue, you know what I mean? Like really tragic like this, you'd be like, damn. And I'm sure it hurts. So, you know, prayers and power to them, you know, the good energy. But as far as him now, you know, we've seen stories like this play out with, you know, people on you know, the public stage, you know, big celebrities and people that, you know, we all following and, you know, watching their moves and all that. If you're a, you know, famous athlete at the time, a dominant athlete, you balling, you know what I mean? We all tuned in. So all eyes is on you, like Tupac, you know what I mean? Little life is a dog, nigga, till I die, like, you know what I mean? And all eyes on you. And in this case, all eyes is on him in a bad way. And then it just make you think of other situations with, I believe, Dante Stallworth. I think he was either on the Eagles or he was on New England, and they cut him. He had a vehicular homicide, and you know, you think of the, right off the top, I can't think of the young brother's name, prominent college player, basketball, about to come out into the pros or at least get drafted, and, you know, crash and ran the red light and end up, you know, smashing himself, racing somebody. And, you know, just doing things like that. And it's like in the day and age of, you know, Uber and, you know, you make it to the big leagues, you got money, you definitely can, you know, get a driver, get a chauffeur. And, you know, but you rather, you know, pull up in the Lambo or whatever it was, a Ferrari, you know what I mean? And I know what that's like, you know what I mean? Especially in Miami, you know what I mean? South Beach, turn up. But then, you know, the end result is this. So, you know, but my thing is, you know, we'll see how it plays out for him. Again, it's unfortunate for him, you know what I mean? And also for the, you know, the Tintor's family. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Is jail the penalty or the justice that y'all think should be you know, served? You know, they're saying you can get up to 20 years or 10 years, 15. Some people was like eye for eye, and, you know, obviously your life should be taken. But, you know, jail wasn't always the, you know, the say all be all or the remedy, the way to you know, to bring forth justice, especially in an accidental way. You know, you have in the past where compensation is given to the family for, you know, an accidental death where it wasn't intentional, because, you know, the person wasn't trying to kill. They may have made a terrible decision or a bad decision, but, you know, would you accept compensation, financial compensation, for a loved one that was killed like this from, say, a famous person, an athlete, an entertainer, you know, a couple of M's? Would that obviously not bring, nothing is going to bring, you're getting zero, zilch, nada is going to bring them back as well. But then maybe if you get a couple dollars, and I mean a couple of M's, let's say 10 million, 15, 20 million, is that enough for you to be like, they fucked up bad, you know what I mean? They took something I can never get back, but this will ease, you know what I mean? And at least now the rest of the family will be good with that sacrifice, if you will, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just saying, sometimes that was done in the past. And, you know, for whatever reason, when you're on the penal system and, you know, you violate the laws, then, you know, jail time is imminent for most of us. But just to say, if it was you and you was on the other side of that coin, would you want something like that? Or are you still like, nah, definitely jail? Because he's still going to live unless you say eye for eye and you're really taking a person's life because they took life, then that's different. But if it's just like, yeah, he going to go do 15, 22 years old, 37, still come home, you know what I mean? Obviously lost time in life that he can never get back, but still alive and still come home and still be able to live, you know what I mean? And however it play out for him is the way, you know, the Most High wanted to play out. But just curious to see, you know, what people think be justice based off the systems and laws that we have here and what you're accustomed to, because every place is not the same. You know what I mean? People have different laws and they abide by different rules and how they do different things. That's why they like, you know, America is the land of the free. It's the home of the brave. It's woo, woo, woo. It's ah. And we also in the end game because, you know, AaroNRogerS, you know what I mean? That bad man, yeah. Discount double check. And I fucking own you still. Like, yeah, I own you. Chicago, that is. He tested positive for, you know, COVID, you know what I mean? C-19. And it seemed, it could just be me. I mean, maybe just passing through, you know, on the ticket and shit. You know, Max Kellerman, that is, he got his new show since he was kicked off First Take. Just seemed like he was just going extremely hard and really like, you know, you being irresponsible by not doing it. Because I guess in the summertime, AaroNRogerS, when he was asked, was he, you know what I mean, vaxxed it up, juvenile, you know what I mean? He was like he was immunized, you know what I mean? So that, I guess it was a play on words for the smart people and shit. Y'all know I'm not the brightest of the bunch. I'm not the smartest, but I guess he duped them, you know what I mean? And was like, yeah, I got immunized, like, you know what I mean? And it is what it is. And they just let it be. But I guess allegedly, sorta, kinda, he's not vaxxed, you know what I mean? And so, okay, he got it. We're all going to get it probably, you know what I mean, if you didn't have it already. So he just was going hard, like, you got it, it's irresponsible, it's a global pandemic. And I'm like, yeah, but people that, got it, still got it. Like, you got it just to still get it, and you're still not going to be able to come in the building. Saquon Barkley, oh yeah, like, it's New York in the house, it's Brooklyn in the house, Uptown in the house, Stalin, like, Shallon, are you in the house? Up to, Wu-Tang love the kids. Still got it. He'll be able to come back in the building a little more quicker just because of the policies and the, the guidelines and rules and regulations that they put put forth says that. That's something that they put, forth. So for AaroNRogerS, because he didn't juvenile it up instead of 24 hours with a, I guess 2 negatives, it's just rules and regulations. Like, it's rules and regulations, fools getting down. First rule, you get pinched, don't make it sound like, That's a great fire reference. I'm being funny, but I'm not. The rules and regulations that they put in place deems AaroNRogerS that he's not vaxxed, that it is going to be 10 days if he's asymptomatic and all this other shit. But it just seemed like he was going hard, like he was reaching, like he was almost kind of like imitating Stephen A. Like, being obnoxious and really going hard for no reason. And it's like, yeah, you got it. You a part of the big company. You a part of the, go along, get along gang, for a lack of a better term, with, with that network. You know what I mean? And I get it. All the employees got to get it. Just like in New York City, they forcing everybody in Florida, no, not Florida, but LA and San Francisco, certain places where they doing it at, but not everywhere. Like I said in the other video with The Walking Dead, everybody governs and rule their people the way they see fit. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important to have a say in who is going to govern over you. You know what I mean? You definitely should have a say in that. You should have a say in that. Otherwise, don't complain, don't bitch and moan, don't have no gripes about, how they governing you and ruling you and telling you to do what the fuck they want you to do. With that being said, it's like, you still gonna get it, right? You're still gonna get it. So whether it's 10 days and you letting the team down, it's still players that can't play. You know what I mean? He just had 2 players, I'm sure that was vaxxed, couldn't play. You can't play, you still might could get a check if you vax. I'm not sure about that part, but you're going too hard, Max. Like, you're going too hard, and there's really no reason for you to go hard because you're still going to get it. He tried to use the analogy like, yeah, you still could die and get into a car crash if you wear a seatbelt, but you still got to wear a seatbelt. And there's still people, they should wear a seatbelt for their own safety, in case you get flown out the window. But it's still a choice, and it's only until they see you and want to make a big deal out of it. Other than that, it's really no big deal until that path is crossed. So, again, with all these players in the NBA and in the, the NFL getting it, even though they vax, it's like, come on. Jaylen Brown, like he feel like he playing 3 games, but he really only playing 1 game. And maybe that's why they coming out the gate looking a little shaky, a little nervous, a little shaky, a little nervous, a little shaky. They looking a little shaky, a little nervous out the box. But I think they will get it together, especially after Marcus Smart dropped that little bombshell at the press conference. Like, yeah, pass the ball, dog. I'm over here. I'm wide open. Pass the ball. Want to pass the ball to the open man. But, getting back to the vaccine out, it's like, yeah, that's why it shouldn't be mandated. You know what I mean? It's like people shouldn't lose their jobs for something that's the inevitable. Like, you know what I mean? Destiny arrives. Or should I say, I have. Like, yeah, that's what Thanos said. Like, run from it, dread it. Destiny arrives, all the same. Or should I say, I have. And they should have never let me in the game. That'd be YouTube, that is. Let's move on to this last shit, because this shit was crazy, shit crazy. You know what I mean? And that be this Fetty Wap shit. So, Fetty Wap, he was supposed to do the loud shit, the rolling loud or whatever it is. And just real quick before we, go into what they saying is happening with him, unfortunately. It seems like a lot of people that go to this loud shit or whatever they got don't be making it there, or they don't be making it from there. Like, they be getting intercepted at the gate. Like, oh no, you coming with us, and you coming with us, and you coming with us. Like, And you seen the Kodak, you seen 50 shit get cut short or whatever. Just a lot of people that roll up over their dirt, you know what I mean? Like, they getting bagged and booked, and I mean, it's like, what's really going on over there? Looking with the side eye, looking like, you know what I mean, niggas is setting niggas up. And in this case here, you know, well, it's unfortunately, you know, he just lost his, you know, his daughter and shit. So, you know, we still sending condolences and positive energy to their family. And, you know, it's just tough times. You know, I be in these social media streets. I'm in these social media like alleyways and running through. And under the comments, you know, one of the you know, Nick the Grit and shit, who I met a few times and shit, hanging out with my nigga Sue. Shout outs to my nigga Sue, you know what I mean? And Jersey Stand Up. And I hung out with Fetty, you know, one time and shit. We was in Jersey. It was, I think, after the premiere, the Drop. You know, they put a movie together, The Drop, and I think they got another movie after that as well, you know, doing production on the movie side. So it was the premiere and shit. Then afterwards, we went and hung out, you know what I mean? And, you know, everything was cool. Everything was love. And, you know, to see that when you reach a certain status, you know what I mean? And then you got to take a step backwards for whatever reason, you know what I mean? You can judge that to people that don't actually got to walk those shoes and, you know, live that life, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't about that. You ain't about that life. Like, nah, you not, you know what I mean? So it's easy to just sit back and, you know, judge on your soapbox or your high horse and say, yeah, it's fucked up, niggas is stupid. And sometimes it do be stupidity, you know what I mean? Beating all of us up, you know what I mean? Some of us do figure it out. And if you do, then we all is out here in the real world, because some of us haven't figured it out yet, even in their late 30s, early 40s, you know what I mean? Anyway, back to him. It's they say he you know, was involved in the obviously the feds got him. So once the feds get you, it's kind of quiet. You know what I mean? And only a few people come out. Only a few. And I'm hard pressed to, you know what I mean, like even think of them without having to, you know, work with them. You know what I mean? But it's supposed to be some heroin, some fentanyl, some drug ring shit. You know what I mean? And it's just like, damn, you went from selling, you know what I mean, millions of records, or at least getting millions of spins, doing shows and doing all that. Like I said, when we was there, he gave everybody, you know what I mean, Hennessy bottle, and all the fellas Hennessy bottles, and all the ladies bottles of Moet, the Rose. And we was deep in there, probably about like 30 of us, 35 of us, like, you know what I mean? So that was a little crazy. On some throwback shit, you know what I mean? Nigga used to, you know, popping off myself as well when you in the clubs and doing that type of thing, you know what I mean? But, you know, it was all love. So to see that, to being caught up in some shit like this, and then like I said, under the comments, you know, people were saying some crazy shit, like it might have been a setup and woo. But Nick like, yo, we gonna get that lawyer money right. We gonna, you know, get you up out of there, free my nigga till it's free him. Even though I guess in the comments, people was like, they having problems. I wasn't really aware of all that, you know what I mean? But, you know, we want him to get home. Obviously, it's a trying time when you facing years, especially when the feds got you, because they don't normally come get you until they got all that evidence ready to bury you. That's why they do their due diligence first. But they say the indictment still hasn't been unsealed, so I guess we don't really know like what the exact charge is. But he supposed to be right in Brooklyn. They booked him at you know, at I was about to say MetLife Stadium, which is Jersey, but at the Met Stadium, City Field. You know what I mean? Booked him in there, took him through there, and now he in downtown Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Shout out to my nigga Dre. You know what I mean? Dre the hate. Yeah, you know what I mean? But yeah, so let me know your thoughts on that. Like you know, a lot of bad choices, and I reference Survivor's Remorse a lot. You know what I mean? My nigga Cam, or the character Cam. You know what I mean? And his trusty uncle or his trusty cousin, he was like the best chaperone, cousin, manager, therapist, homie that you need. You see, like we all need somebody like him, because he'll be like, listen, dog, like that is not the right thing to be doing. We do not need to be doing that right now. Like, so not worrying about getting cut off from, you know, that nice salary and you know, everything that comes with being a part, you know, of the situation when somebody is a basketball player, or, you know, the hottest comedian, or the, you know, the newest rapper that's just on fire selling millions of platinum records and shit. So, you know, nobody really want to be cut out. That's why it's a lot of yes men. That's why it's a lot of yes women. And niggas just be saying anything and everything just to stick around because they don't want to get pushed to the sideline. Not the kid. You already know. You was just tuned in. POPAVIST. That's me. POPAVIST TV. That's my show. We live. We rolling. We unscripted. We authentic. That feeling back up in here. One more again. Yeah, kid.